I don't know if this ever happens to you guys.
My jaw just kind of dropped when he said that.
Just appears out of the ether for us. At first, we did not accept this offer,
It just feels like we've been given this gift of an opportunity.
but we didn't really know what was next. We wanted to share with you all the story of how we got this place. If you watched our last video, it was our home tour, sort of seeing what we have here, showing you around the farm, and it's actually a pretty interesting story of how we got it.
The story kind of starts when we decided to come back to Thailand.
The decision was just kind of, okay, we love it at Pun Pun, we love it in the north of Thailand here, so let's come back, and we really hadn't thought much beyond that. So we came back to Pun Pun, and obviously we were just volunteering there. We just knew we were in the right place. Our hearts felt like we needed to be there, but we didn't really know what was next. Like, we know we want to buy land, and we know we want to start a project and a community of our own one day, but we were not certain on the next step to take in that direction.
And we were sharing with people there, like, we've come back here because we want to try and stay here long term. Maybe we can find land, or we want to, just explore that possibility or move towards that. So through sharing just our dream and what we were hoping to do and talking with people, one of the community members that's currently building a house close to Pun Pun had a friend and a previous volunteer come and visit one weekend shortly after we arrived back at Pun Pun.
She had come to visit, and we met her for the first time and just got to know her a little bit and talk to her about our dreams, why we're here again.
She just tells us, "Oh, I have a house and land, like, just a kilometer away from Pun Pun. Like, I'm not currently living there. You should come and see my land."
I don't know if this ever happens to you guys. Let me know in the comments if it does. I feel like when you're doing the thing that you love doing and you're doing the thing you're passionate about, things just seem to come to you out of control of your own. You're just attracting things that are in alignment with your goals. We had probably drove past this land many times, but didn't know that it was owned by someone at the community. She just invited us over for the day. We kind of just checked it out, saw her land. We're not really expecting anything to come of it. So she expressed her desire to have somebody live here full time while she's away, because if you just have an empty house in the Thai jungle, and especially land, it just gets taken over by the jungle. Rats start living in it, duques, everything like that. And she was like, I like you guys, and I really want to offer my house and my 1 acre of land to you to rent for a very small fee, and just play with it. Just do whatever you want to do with it. If you want to start a winery, go ahead. If you want to raise chickens and get a cow, do it. And she's just been super awesome, allowing us to have that freedom. And at first, we did not accept this offer.
When we first came to the land, she was showing us, and you could tell that she was really hoping that we would stay here. We were not in the same place. We were thinking, we like it at Pun Pun. We like the community there. Like, maybe we still have more to learn there, and we should just be, we should just stay at Pun Pun for now. Like, we can build gardens, and we can, do all of those types of things at Pun Pun. So why move to this land? And so initially we were like, wow, that's a really nice offer, but I don't think it's for us.
Which is hilarious looking back on it now. But I think that's where we were. We had just gotten back from Malaysia with the decision to be at Pun Pun for longer. So that was, we didn't want to come back for a week, say hi to Pun Pun, and then move away. It just didn't feel right for us. Through our time back at Pun Pun and kind of spending a month and a half there, we really felt like, well, this is not this is also not a long-term solution for us. We can't just live in a small room and volunteer for the rest of our lives, even though we love it at Pun Pun. Maybe it would really be great to have some space.
Our thoughts started to change as we realized we have some other goals and, just personal things that we want to do and spend time on, which is really challenging when you are living full-time volunteering in a community. Your days are just full with volunteering and cooking and being with people, and so working on your own personal things,
including this channel.
Yeah, including making videos and just anything else that we want to do. Just didn't quite feel like we had the amount of space and time that we were wanting to dedicate to those things. And so the longer that we stayed at Pun Pun, we've kept kind of coming back to the idea of, well, maybe having our own space could be a good thing. Like, could be kind of the next step for us.
So we ended up calling her up and talking to her and kind of explaining where we're at and asking if the offer was still on the table, and she said yes, absolutely, come live, make a home here, do great things.
Once we agreed and said, okay, yes, we want to rent this land, stay here, the next thing that we needed was transportation.
Basically, Pun Pun's like pretty far away from any sort of major like city. The closest place would be Cholet, and we didn't even know, like, can we buy a bike in Cholet? Like, it's not a big bustling place. It's just like a little town. So we kept asking people, hey, do you know where we can buy a bike? Do we know where we can rent a bike or something? Because we were about a week out of moving and really needing to figure that part out. People were suggesting, oh, just go to Chiang Mai or Mae Tang, and really had no way of getting to Chiang Mai or Mae Tang without taking some sort of public transportation, purchase a bike in Thai on our own and drive it back and register it and do all these things. Just seemed overwhelming for us.
Just seemed like a lot of things that we needed to do and hope came together. It really felt like, it's feeling kind of challenging to get that bike.
So one day we were having lunch at Pun Pun, and a former volunteer came from Australia, and he's been in Thailand for a while, and he was looking to go back to Australia. And we just started chatting with him. He was a really nice guy.
And I just asked him, like, so what are you doing in Chiang Mai? Like, normally he lives in the south, but he had come up here. And he said, oh, well, I'm just trying to finish a few things, and I actually really need to sell my bike before I go. My jaw just kind of dropped when he said that, because just hours before and like the previous days before, been thinking so much like, how are we gonna get a bike? And
I think we were now 3 days out of moving into this place at the time.
Yeah. So it felt like there was just this kind of short timeline that we were on, like, we really need to get a bike. We can't move and not have a way to get around. This guy comes, and he only was there for a couple of hours. And we really could have just, like, eaten our lunch and not really talked to him. Me just asking that question of, like, what are you doing in Chiang Mai? And him mentioning, like, oh, I'm trying to sell my bike. I was like, well, that's really funny because I'm looking to buy a bike. So let's talk about that. We were initially thinking we would be spending a lot more money on a bike.
Yeah, at least 30,000 baht was probably what we were expecting to spend.
But he only wanted 8,000 baht, which maybe for the bike, still to some people seems like too much. But for us, it felt like that works for us.
Not only that, he was willing to go bring it to the mechanics in Chiang Mai before he brought it out to us, get it checked, get anything fixed that needed to be done, and then he was willing to bring it all the way out to meet us in Mae Tang, which is much closer to here, and swap the bike for money and leave.
Yeah.
So 3 days before, we ended up with a awesome, good enough bike. Holy crap, that thing's huge. 3 days before we move into this place, a bike just appears out of the ether for us. And so did this place, so did this home for us after coming back to Panpan. It just, it just came to us.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really search it out. We just expressed sort of our desires to people, and somehow it just ended up getting back to us.
It just feels like we've been given this gift of an opportunity to live out our dream in maybe a smaller scale way and just a more like feasible way for us, since we are like just starting out on things. There's so much that we don't know, that we haven't done before, that we need to learn. And so to have a place that has a home and has running water and has just all of the basic necessities for us to live and be like quite comfortable, while we also have just this space where we can plant and grow and experiment with, just like living more sustainably.
Not many landlords would allow you to just do anything you want with the place within reason, and just experiment and try things and have fun. So it's such a good fit for us. And we're also like 5-minute drive away from Panpan, just at the bottom of the hill. So we still have, the support of that community. We still go there for lunch and want to help them with certain things and various like tasks that they need to do. But it feels good to still be in this area, and now to have really like a large piece of land to try and do stuff with for two people that know nothing yet.
If we're truly utilizing and making productive all of this land and space, it's just huge. It's just incredible to think what you can do with a relatively small piece of land. So I think that's also given us a lot of perspective as well, of even what we maybe need or kind of want for the future if we do buy land, and if/when we do buy our own land, and how much we actually need and what's reasonable.
But I think it's really encouraging for us to know that just by following our heart and our dreams and trying to make steps in those directions, things are falling in place for us, and it feels right. It feels like we know that, okay, we're supposed to be here. We don't know what here is supposed to hold for us, but we're supposed to be here. I hope by sharing this story, maybe we can encourage you to look at your own life and think, what are the things that are coming to me? What are the things that are saying, go in this direction? This is where you're supposed to be. Because I think it's rare to find those things and to recognize them sometimes. Like at first we didn't accept this place, which again seems crazy to us right now. But we needed that time too. And now this is the next chapter for us. And we don't know what the chapter will be after that. But we know we want to share this with you guys, and we hope you're excited to be a part of it. We know we're super excited to just get to play and enjoy and create beautiful things and bring that into the world. So please follow us along on this next chapter. If you're just watching this channel now, welcome. Please subscribe if it sounds interesting to you, and if you've been watching us for a while, thank you so much for following along. We'll see you in the next video from the farm.
Bye.